Oh my goodness. We are live. Hello, hello, hello to those coming into the chat. I see some familiar faces. Let's just get started. What is going on? You are watching and, of course, listening to Tags Live, aka Talk About Gay Sex, the live edition, where we're here every Wednesday night on the Crowdcast platform. Although we were off last week for the holiday of Thanksgiving. So good to be
Mhm.
back. I am your host, Stevie V. This is episode 718 alongside,
Ooh.
couldn't do it without him, Kodi Maurice Doggette. How the hell you doing, Kodi?
Hello, darling. Doing wonderful. Ready for this evening and our discussion. So, yeah.
Exactly. Let us get into it. We are in front of a live audience today and we want to hear from you. Let's get into our sex talk. We are Tags Podcast, and today we're talking about something every gay man has experienced or at least joked about. Maybe you don't even know what it is. Post nut clarity. We're going to talk more about what that means. You know, that moment right after you have that amazing orgasm, and suddenly you're like, why did I invite him over? Or why am I in
Not why did
Queens?
I invite him over?
How did I end up in Queens?
Wow.
Or what's that other borough that nobody ever talks about here in the city?
Staten Island? The
Staten Island.
Bronx?
Yeah, there's a funny movie the where she ends up in Staten Island, and it's hilarious. And so
Yeah.
that's the moment we're talking about. Or my favorite, should I go vegan? That's another thing. But today we're digging deeper because
No.
Instinct Magazine inspired today's episode. They did a whole article breaking down basically what post nut clarity actually is. And surprise, not everyone experiences it. Plus, how things like we're going to talk about Tantra and conscious intimacy might actually change it entirely. Well, let's get into it. According to Instinct Magazine, where the whole inspiration of today's episode came from, post nut clarity, or PNC, is really that sudden shift in perception right after orgasm, where your brain does a reboot, clears its cookies, and says, Girl, what were you thinking? It's like that horny fog, if you will, Kodi, and
Oh, I know.
rationality that comes back in. And sometimes that clarity is helpful, sometimes it's horrifying. And what's interesting in this article, when I was reading it, when I was thinking about today's episode, it basically says that PNC isn't universal. Not everyone has it. For some, it's calm. For some, it's shame. And for some, nothing. Have you ever felt like you just wanted to delete your grinder moments immediately after a hookup? You
Let's not
can
get
raise
crazy now. Okay.
only
That's
to
jumping the shark.
re-download it 2 hours later is the question.
Oh,
So,
no.
yeah. PNC actually has roots in biology. During arousal and orgasm, our limbic system, the primal pleasure seeking part of our brain, takes over. So, that horny side of our brain basically takes over, is driving the car, and our rational brain, that prefrontal cortex, I'm getting a little scientific here,
I know, right?
basically
I feel
takes
like
a
I'm on
nap.
Star Trek.
Yeah. And that's when we make decisions like agreeing to a threesome at 1 a.m. We were just talking about threesomes on episode 717. Then, after orgasm hormones shift, dopamine drops, prolactin rises, and suddenly your rational brain wakes up. Excuse me, we did what? And that's why clarity or regret can hit so quickly for some of us. So, the article goes on to say that not everyone experiences this. Some people feel peaceful after orgasm, others feel sad. There's actually a term for it, postcoital dysphoria, and some feel
Mm.
absolutely nada. Here's where context matters. If you're stressed, lonely, horny, or hooking up out of convenience, not desire, you're more likely to feel some weirdness afterward. And gay men, many of us queer, have such varied sexual scripts: hookups, open relationships, sex positivity, kink, intimacy, just to name a few, which brings us to the next piece: connected sex versus disconnected sex. But when I first talked about this, Kodi, and brought it up to you about PNC,
Mhm.
what were do you relate to any of this and any of your hookups over the last several years?
One of the many, 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 many hookups that I'm sure it's happened to me. No, it happened to me yesterday when I was jacking off. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. I was really exhausted and I just had to get it in. And after I, you know, everything climaxed and I ejaculated or what have you. I was like, why did I even do that? I'm exhausted. I need to go to sleep. I have to be up at 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So yeah, I completely understand it, but it's hard for me personally to get out of the throes of something like that when I'm in that mode of I want to have sex, I want to jack off, and it's happened to me all the frequently. I haven't necessarily wanted to delete Grinder. I think that's a hair too far, and I'm never. But I have had those moments like, why did I even come to this person's house and not in Staten Island? So yeah, I definitely have had it happen to me before.
And I can relate to you absolutely the same way, where I've had periods before where I have jacked off. Like, when you work from home, it's so much easier to just take that quick break. But and when I've done that in the past, it has gotten me into I released that energy, that sex energy that I had going on in me, but I don't know that it really sufficed where I was really at. And it sometimes brought my energy lower than I really needed it to be. And
Mm.
working recently with Will Tantra of Tantric Fitness, one of our favorite guests of the show, and I've been working with him when I worked with him at Vakaya a lot, did a lot of different tantric workshops. And one of the things that I learned, and I keep learning from Will, is, and our co-host Lincoln says it a lot about the rubber band. Like, when you watch too much porn, you can
Mhm.
actually overuse that rubber band so much that, when you want to have sex, it's not the same feeling.
Yeah.
And to elongate it and to want to have sex with my partner and to wait for those moments is really making me, not want to go down that road of just having quick sex from porn, and then ultimately I'm like, downward, and then I have to bring myself back up, because we forget that when we orgasm, yes, it's amazing and it helps us out. And for some people it doesn't even matter, or you can go to the gym. I asked my trainer back in the day, hey, can you orgasm and then go work out? And he said, for some people you can, for others your levels will go so low that you will be so dead in the gym. And
Really? That's
yeah,
interesting.
I mean, but I think the point is everyone's different. And
Yeah.
so for me right now, I'm trying to practice not jerking off during the day as much at all, because I'm trying to save it up for my husband now
All
and
right
work
now.
on that. But that's just me. Others can you mentioned you went on a hookup recently, and I've can think back in the past
Recently?
where, I mean, I went on,
I
back in the day when
okay.
I went on hookups and it wasn't really a match, but yet I got off.
Mhm.
It worked for me for that time being, but I can also think of times when it's worked better. Like, so if I'm going into like the back room in a dark room, that is when it can work for me, because it's, to me, it's a rinse and repeat. Have a cocktail, talk to my friends, talk to the bartenders I know, see some friends, go to the back
Yeah.
room, get off. Maybe, I don't know that I'm really ejaculating and having the orgasm. I'm just having fun. So there's that ebb and flow that keeps the night going. But it's a different story if you actually if my mind release. When I've gone to bathhouses back in the day and actually released, I wanted to go home afterwards. I mean, I did. I was done. I mean, for me,
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about when you actually orgasm if in those kinds of environments, in the environment of, say, a sex club or a bathhouse? Do you bounce back? Can you keep going? Or is it like night over? I'm good. I'm out.
So I can bounce back, but a lot of the times I don't want to. I feel like a lot of the times I'm like, yeah, I've done what I came to do. It's time for me to go home now. I'm going to tap out and go home. But I have had certain instances where the experience has been so hot. I remember certain hookups, maybe two or three within the spans the last 3 months, where I ejaculated and I kept wanting to go on, and I
Oh, I
came
love
again.
that.
Yeah, but it has to be. I
Because
don't
we've
know. I
all
feel
met
like.
those guys before that have they've said, "Oh, yeah, you're my 5th guy," or something like that, and it's you don't take it personally because you're in that environment, and
Mhm.
it's like, "Wow," like, you get the
Wait, fifth
award for
guy
tonight.
coming in how long?
I mean, within,
That's
3 or 4
extraordinary.
yeah, I mean, they can do it.
That's some X-Men shit right there. I can't do that. I can go two, maybe three times in the span of like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. But um yeah, I think that for me, once I ejaculate, once I come, I feel like my mindset is that I need to leave. I'm like, I am done. And because again, you have that clarity after you come. So I feel like with that clarity comes the whole, okay, now I can relax because you're all amped up, you're riled up and ready to go, and you're just voracious for a little connection in that carnal way. But and I think that once that is alleviated, I feel like uh, I'm like, okay, it's time for me to go to sleep
Well,
now.
good point, because the article makes the big point on not every guy experiences this the same way. Some people feel zen, others feel guilt, others feel absolutely nothing. And when we talk about our emotional state going on into sex, that's a whole big thing. The article talks about that one point where in sex, scientifically, our mind is that one point where our mind shuts off and nothing really matters. But if you had all these work things or life situations happening prior to sex, it shuts off in that brief period of time, however long that sex moment was. And then when you come out of it, that's still there. And that could be a perfect moment retreat, or it could be like, oh, right, I still have to deal with that. And let's get back to my checklist. And ca- the times I felt like that were casual hookups where it was fun, but then I'm like, okay, we got to get back to business here. But yet I traveled across town and now I got to get back to it. It's a whole thing. In my relationship, it's easier if we have sex typically at night. It's easier to wind down and cuddle and enjoy the
Yeah.
moment and bask in that moment. Or if it's morning sex, we can do the same thing too. If it's a day off, which we've had sex before on a Monday, we can just enjoy and just really like bask in that whole thing. What are your feelings on that whole idea of like, ooh, life was happening before, stopped during sex, and has to pick up afterward?
You mean as far as cuddling is concerned and
And
or
just
just
like what life,
oh,
the idea of where you're at with life and you have to move on.
normally I tend to have those types of experiences at night. So it's normally like I go to sleep. But I guess if I have it during the day, it's very easy for me to fall back into uh my rhythm of the day. I feel like it's not really that much of a break for me. I feel like for like if I have sex during the day, which I've had in the past couple
Yeah.
months, weeks, what have you, I think there's one particular instance where like I went to the gym immediately afterward and then I went to work and then I did all the things. I may have washed some clothes or laundry, but the experience was really hot and I texted him today. I was like, "Hey, we need to connect again." So
I like that.
yeah, I don't really have those. don't have an issue when it comes to like getting back into the swing of things. It's really easy for me. Did the article say anything about that being an issue for a lot of people? Do you?
I think when it comes to things like porn or porn consumption, I think you can
Mm,
still prioritize your life. And if you have a good, healthy relationship with porn, I think that you can actually go right back into like your day-to-day things. If you're somebody like myself, for a while
mhm.
there, it was just too readily available, and I stopped watching it so much because, like Lincoln says all the time on our show, our co-host, it's like a rubber band and it starts to get looser, right? And the
Mhm.
feeling that you got out of it isn't the same that it was in the past. And so
Mm.
I for me it was good to just kind of not watch it and soak up that amazing sexual energy that I was feeling and save it for a later experience. And that's why working in Tantra, you can do that kind of thing. You can kind of utilize that amazing life force, which I feel like is Tantra, and put it into something that's positive or wait till it's with a connected situation. And so
Yeah.
that's where, yeah, that's where I think it's been a good thing. Let's bring up Tantra because Tantra changes the purpose of sex entirely. And when sex is not just release, but connection, and you use things like breath energy, does the post nut crash even happen? Have you,
Oh.
Kodi, ever had sex where you felt more clarity before, during, and after because of how connected you were?
I think that for me, definitely the connection makes everything a lot stronger, and I feel like with connected sex, maybe the the post nut clarity doesn't really come into play. I feel like it only helps to intensify and lengthen the it's like a euphoric feeling that I get after connected sex. So it's a little
Yeah.
bit different. I feel like for me, like the carnal part kind of goes away, but I still kind of want to rub and caress and kiss and play around. So it's like I'm still kind of on a high, but it's a different kind of high. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And it brings up to me when I was single, running out there and hooking up with different people, I had a lot of great sex. Most of my
Yeah.
great sex was often in sex clubs. That's where
Okay.
I had a lot of fun and I could make sense of what it was and enjoy it. And like I said, rinse and repeat, see my friends and bartenders and have fun in a back room and make sense of it all and go home into my bed. When I had other issues in my mind personally, was when I brought somebody home and I really kind of liked them. Because for me to bring somebody home, I would have already had to have liked them, and if they didn't respond afterwards in terms of giving me their number or wanting to set up another situation, that often lingered with me because I think I thought, oh, let's exchange numbers. And the article does
Hmm.
talk about this to want to carry this on to another time. And often maybe they would give me their number, but nothing would ever occur afterward. And that
Okay.
would
That
often
happen
bring
a
me
lot.
on a downward, not spiral, but my ebb would go down in
Okay.
terms of ebbs and flows. And I found that always didn't work for me. So I would bring somebody home and they wouldn't respond back in the way I was hoping they would because I felt like I had this connection with them.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so for me, that was always an issue. And so what I found, what worked a lot better for me is to just keep it in the club, keep it in the sex club, that I could keep it fun, light, rinse and repeat, and it worked for me. But everybody has that's what's the beauty of our sexuality and why we do this show a lot is because, and what the article even says is that we're all on a different spectrum on how we experience these things. And by the way, there is no exact scientific evidence of this PNC that we're talking about. It's clearly, I mean, there's been
We're
some
the
science
scientists. It's
data.
uncharted territory.
Correct. Yes, exactly. And I remind everybody that we are live, and there's a few comments. Doug says, as I've gotten older, when I have orgasm, I am ready to go home. I have other things I need to do. Okay, so you're just ready to go. I love that for the next bit. And yeah, I mean, I think that's where a lot of people are too. Does anybody ever feel, raise your hands, that when you've had sex with somebody and it was really good, that you want to keep it going like a good thing? So, Cody, let's just ask you this question. We bring it
Mm,
up to our live virtual audience.
wait,
When you've
I
had
didn't raise my
really,
hand.
okay, but when you've had good sex with somebody, do you want to have it again with that same person, or are you done?
No, I'm not done. I wanna have it again. I definitely have had the experience to where I have hit up. I'm looking for a friend with a benefit. I need to, well, it's something that I
James,
would
James,
like.
James, for the
He
record,
bro he should
raise
raise
his hand.
he
Raise
should come
your
up here and answer the question.
hands. Love it.
Because I did not raise my hand. No. But I definitely, yeah, I'm telling you, the guy that I hit up today, I had a wonderful experience with him. I saw him on Grinder again. It was the guy, I don't know if you remember this story, but I went to his house, it was the middle of the day, and we came together. And that hadn't happened to me in a long, long, long time.
What do you
Like
mean
where
we came together?
we came simultaneously. Like he came
Oh,
and I came
sorry,
at the same
actually
time.
came. I'm like, I'm thinking we came
We
together.
came to
I don't know why I was in a
we
poetry
were
class
holding
all of a
hands and
sudden,
skipping.
and like our bodies came. Yeah, you're like, no, we actually came. We
No,
orgasmed. We
we ejaculated
ejaculated. Okay,
at the same time.
got it.
And that's something that hadn't happened to me in a while, actually, because I don't know. I feel like I had been disconnected from a lot of sex. But I saw him on Grinder today. I was like, "Hey, baby, how you doing?"
How you doing?
And he was like, "Hey," and I was like, "He's like, you want to come over right now?" I was like, "I have to go plan for my podcast."
Uh, OMG. I love that.
Yeah, so that I'm definitely looking for a lot of people that I can have sex with a lot. I want a roster. Does that
Like
make
the
me
version of a black book. You need
Yes,
that.
yes. I need a sex
Yeah.
book, honey. A friends with benefits book because yeah, I'm definitely trying to have a whole football team. So yeah.
Okay. I love that. I mean, when we're talking about relationships and that PNC thing, let's talk about relationships for a second because PNC and a hookup is different from PNC with your partner. When there's a connection, communication, safety, the clarity isn't a crash, it's more of a grounded moment. And does post nut clarity actually disappear when you're emotionally aligned with somebody? I think it does for me
Yeah,
personally,
I
because
agree.
you now know this person. There is no guilt anymore. It's the person that you've chosen to be intimate with, and hopefully intimate as often as you can. And hopefully, I don't know, that pillow talk moment, even that you can have with a loved one, that this is what we're supposed to. No, I don't think I have any of those things because to me, PNC almost brings up, Cody, the fact of guilt in many ways. And there is no guilt when it's with my partner.
Yeah, I hear that, and I think most often it is associated with guilt, but I think that a lot of times it could be also a just a whole clarity. It could be like, oh, okay, I've gotten the carnal part of the way, and now I'm here, and I can focus on whatever else there is. I think that when that focus comes, a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, what the hell did I just do?" I just had So, I think that's why those two things go hand in hand, but I do think that like it's just about being clear and getting a lot of those uh, uh, urges out of the way. So yeah, I definitely feel you on that one.
So if we're talking about PNC, that moment where after you've had that orgasm with whomever, even by yourself, and you crash, How can
Mhm.
we change that? And I wanted to layer in the fact of Tantra. And we've had a lot of guests on the show, Will of Tantric Fitness, and many others. And I've done a lot of work on Tantra, on elongating that energy, that sexual energy, but with yourself, with a partner. How can we elongate that? Because I really am a firm believer that when you can elongate that process, you won't have that crash. It's
Mhm.
not built into the actual foreplay of it all, because you're actually taking time. How can we shift sexual experience to avoid a crash? Here's some tips. You can
Okay.
set an intention beforehand: connection versus release. You can communicate your needs and emotional state to your partner. You can use breath work and conscious touch. You can stay present instead of mentally escaping. Aftercare, not just for kink, but the aftercare of looking after your partner there. And you can actually reframe orgasm as a continuation, not the end. And Will talks about
Yes, the
multiple
bridge.
orgasms. So I'm trying to reframe how we think about orgasm as not just a wham bam 3 minute, 5 minute dry stroke, and elongate the process, even if it's with yourself. And Will has taught me that you can do all kinds of solo exercises. You can have date night with yourself. Always use lube, use your mirror, and you can get in touch with yourself sensually, so that you elongate that process, so that it's not just this quick release and then that ebb. Okay, let me get back to cleaning the house. Let me get back to going back to those emails. But that maybe you chose a time, I'm making this up, a Friday night, when before you sit back and watch Netflix and that binge series, that you actually sit back and you take that time for yourself. And it can be so rewarding. I am somebody that has done this. I want to continue to do it with my partner who's sitting next to me, but it's very powerful. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that with I think the basis for that was that connection is the key to all of this, and once you take the transactional portion out of it, I think that that is the key to making it feel less and less like uh, uh, escaping from the PNC of it all, basically.
I like that. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what you think about how uh, do you just come immediately and it's over with? What are we talking about? PNC, and how you actually experience that. How do you take that into your actual sexual lives? Because I think the article posed a really good question on how we come up with like our sexuality and how do we experience it. And I think so for so many of us, it's so quick and fast, and we orgasm and we're not really thinking about where we're at mentally. And you can do that, and you can incorporate into your actual lives, and you can make it work for you. And it's really beautiful when you actually do that. And I'm just excited about this. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
really cool. Let's keep this conversation going. What does Bryce say before we move on?
Bryce says that
Because
he
we're
can come
live.
5 times in an hour without getting tired. And I said, damn,
Oh,
he's superhuman.
I love it. I love it. Let's keep this conversation going, because it was a really good one that I think can continue over on our Tags Patreon community. And I really feel that connection matters, and
Definitely.
connection on all sorts of levels. If it's a friends with benefits, if it's a relationship, if it's a love, if it's just whomever, a friend, that you have better orgasms and you moderate your moods when you do have these deeper relationships. And that is exactly what my new app is doing right now. Soft or hard plug here. Really excited about this because I launched it about a week ago, and it really does give you tips wherever you are at to find those deeper, meaningful connections. And if it's simply friendships, or if you've moved to a new town and you just want to find, you maybe started over and you want to start finding meaningful relationships. And it doesn't always have to be love, although my new app can direct you. There's a whole onboarding process that helps you navigate where you're at in the process. But don't we all want deeper, meaningful connections, Kodi? I mean, it's really,
Definitely.
and this is what
Definitely.
my app really does. It, on the onboarding process, it helps you navigate where you are at and gives you daily, weekly tasks, but they're really fun, and everything from meditations. I have a whole series on a mindful exercise, how to meditate to really attract what you're doing, but really tips and tricks to kind of get you out there wherever you are looking for. So if it's a relationship and love, we have those for you. And I'm really proud of this. I really worked hard on it. And it is available now, or it could be a good gift for somebody in your arena. And it is called Connect and Confidence. And you can go to studio.com/Stevie/connect and get it right now. And yeah, check it out. So
Boom.
that's my plug for that. But I'm really proud of it because I just really believe, after I just got married, that connection is the way, and in all sorts of ways. It doesn't have to be, I mean, I went the full marriage way, but connection is just important. Relationships that matter to you are at the core of this as well. Well, let's continue the sex talk, because right now, I didn't know this, but there is a Flatiron sex position. Did you know about this before? I mean, my sister flat irons her
No.
hair sometimes, and we live in I live next door to the Flatiron district, but
Right? That's what I thought they were talking about. I was like, what are they doing in Flatiron?
exactly. 9 gay variations to try, and I I didn't really understand it, but it all has to do with putting your weight on somebody else. The easiest way to think of the Flatiron gay sex position as the spooning position. Well, we all know spooning, except
Yeah.
you're lying on top of another person, another guy, right? So the bottom lies on their stomach. If they have the flexibility to do so, they can gently raise their hips towards the ceiling. We all know those types, right? The top climbs on top, face
Yes.
down,
We love them.
lying on top of the bottom, sliding inside. The top can hold up some of their body weight just to alleviate a little bit with their own body, or they can fully lie on top of the bottom. And of course, those are the basic instructions, but there's all kinds of variations, Kodi, where that's the first. What did you think of that? And then we can move on to the variations of it.
I didn't know that I had done this position before. I didn't know there was a name for it. So I was very happy to know that my experimentalness, I don't know if that's a word, but we just made it up today. I'm glad that it has led me to, being on the cusp of this new and untested sex position that we got going on here. I'm
I
ready to
love it.
find out more.
Yeah, I love it too. If your bottom is one of those lucky fellows who can get off by grinding, this flat iron gay sex position variation is probably for you. So simply add a pillow or grinding sex toy underneath both of you, perfectly positioning your bottom to test on top of it. So I guess you basically put the pillow, and then your bottom can like position himself on top, so it raises him up so he can actually be slightly raised above, and he can spread
Yeah.
his legs, and then you can come behind him, is kind of the way. In traditional flat iron, all the weight on top of the bottom may make it difficult to get forward and backward movement, but this chest up variation for your bottom helps solve that. You get the position, right? So it puts that pillow in between,
Oh yeah.
and yeah,
There's
it
like little,
raises
I
your
mean,
bottom up a little bit.
there's little pictures. I was looking at the pictures just now too. So
Yeah, there's some really good.
I'm a
I'll post this
visual
on
learner.
tags. I'll post it on tagspodcast.com. I'll also post it on our tags Patreon community where you get behind the scenes content. You can even give us a tip and show us your love by grabbing a tier. Go to patreon.com/tags podcast. A quick tip on a variation of it is on a table. So off the table Flatiron sex position variation is almost looking like it says it's on a table, but I'm thinking of a massage table. And I remember
Okay.
back in the day in LA where I would go see this masseur weekly almost. He was so good. It was $60 to get a full-on massage Kodi and a really
That's
good one.
amazing.
And at the end of it, he would fuck me from behind and he would get on top of me from on a table,
For
on
60
a
bucks?
massage table for $60. Okay, it was like the late 90s, but I'm sure he's gone up in price if he's
Damn.
still doing this. But
Happy endings are a lot of money.
I mean,
You made
but
out like a bandit.
I really did, and I got a great massage as well as the deed as well. We elongated. It wasn't what we were talking about earlier, PNC. It was really nicely stretched out. So was my hole, but
I was gonna
I mean, it was
say something
really
else was stretched out too.
exactly. Um, Other variations include simply on the floor or a mat, where if your bottom is really flexible, they really position their ass up in the air, and then you're still so all of the top's weight isn't just totally on top of them, just a little bit of it. But this is, I feel, a little more advanced, correct?
Yeah, you have to have a little bit of arm strength when it comes to this one. Yeah, this is not a beginner move right here, y'all.
There's a few other
Oh
variations. Were there
man.
any that you wanted to like? I mean, we're not going to go through every single one, but
Yeah,
was there what final thoughts on this and how
I'm
you?
ready to
Yeah,
try them all. And I think the Sphinx one looks pretty cool. Also, anyone where you're on top of something, like the Magic
yeah.
Mountain sex position, where you're on like a little, I guess it's an ottoman or something like that. Oh, and the Grand Slam. Yeah, that one looks fun too. So
Describe
I
that one
think,
really quickly.
um, it's just in case the top can't lean forward. The Gram Slam is a great variation. It doesn't quite fit the definition of what Flatiron is, but it comes pretty close. It's the only thing that's changing is the top's position. They're on their knees, kind of straight up and down, and the bottom is still on his stomach. And you're basically just straddling and kind of rocking back and forward with your hips.
Oh, I
It
like
looks fun.
that.
They all
Okay.
look fun.
I feel like we're going the other direction now because now we're going to switch gears because recently there was a whole article and it was running up online. Gay guys were sharing the non-sexual things that men do that we find attractive. I'll read a few and then we'll discuss. Somebody
Got
wrote
it.
a fast typer on a laptop. Girl, what? I mean,
What?
these days I heard that, Gen Z doesn't know how to type. So maybe that would be something that would be if you're into a more daddy type to see, because I know how to
Or a
type,
sexy
but
nerd?
yeah, okay, let's just put him into sexy nerd category. Safe driver, but not slow driver is another turn on. Wow. Nerding out and explaining to me things that interest him. Uh,
Boom.
I could get
That
that.
one.
A deep voice. Oh, okay. Having a well decorated home or room was another one. Wearing glasses, especially at night. Emotionally
All this is
vulnerable.
Jonathan Bailey. All of this is Jonathan Bailey.
Giving Jonathan Bailey, yeah.
Yeah.
Wearing my clothes. Oh, that's an interesting one. Wearing my
I think it's
clothes
so
because
cute.
recently, since I've been living with my husband, he recently wore my coat out and I loved seeing him wear it. And today I was running out to run some errands and I called him on because we FaceTime like 95 times a day. And I was wearing one. He's like, why are you wearing my jacket? And even the way he says that like that, why are you wearing my jacket? And that just turned me on. And I love that. Diego has a lot of things that the way he speaks cracks me up, but I love it, and it just works for me. But there's all somebody said laughing hard. Yeah, I don't know, fixing stuff. I would say one last thing that I want to hear from you. One thing is that turns me on that's non-sexual is Diego is a doer. So, for example, he decorated our Christmas tree like there was no tomorrow, and he was on the ladder and he was doing this. He like what's that stuff that you put that putty stuff that you put in the wall to fix a hole?
Michael?
I don't know, but
Spackle.
spackle, yeah, he did that, and he knows how to do all these like things. Like what's that thing that you do this with?
Girl, what?
A hammer? I think a hammer. Yeah,
A
screwdrivers. He knows
hammer.
how to work with all those tools that I don't.
Steve.
I know. I'm a
Steve.
communications person. I don't know how to do this. He knows how to do them, but I love a person that knows how to work with, are they called tools? Yes, tools. He knows how
Girl.
to,
Oh,
and that I love
now it's
it.
a bit. Okay, I get it now.
No, I'm serious. He's kicking me. What are
I'm so
yours?
glad you have him.
Me too. I would not get through this life.
So for me, it's definitely someone who likes to nurture. So I think cooking for someone, I think that that is extremely that just endears someone to me. So endears me to someone. Also, I love it when a guy is like a little bit of like of a scaredy cat. So if we're watching a scary movie together, then they just like jump on me and like, oh, God, the
Oh,
killer is coming. I think it's so cute. I think it's adorable. It just makes my heart go flutter.
Diego is like cracking up right now because if we watch a scary movie and I'm like, we're in each other's arms, he will inevitably scare me and like do something. Or the other day, I was like, I had the door ajar like this amount, like
Uh-huh.
2 inches, and I'm like, putting my third moisturizer on and my serum,
You know
and,
what that
and
is,
it's
but
just
you don't know
on
what
and
a
on.
hammer is?
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know my serums. And he was peeking his eye in there, and I went, ah!
No,
I
don't
lost
do
it.
that.
I lost it. Yeah. And
Also, one more thing for me
shut
is
up.
like is when people are gonna think you told me to shut up, but he's telling Diego to shut up.
Sorry, yeah. I know, right. I'm
That's
not telling you to
hilarious.
shut up. Yeah.
When someone what we watch, say we watch mine, a lot of them revolve around television. When say we're watching like a really heartfelt commercial or show, and just like this, you see a little tear come down. It's just the
Oh,
sweetest thing.
that
So
is
yeah,
really sweet. And I'm one of those people.
I know you
Yeah.
are.
It could be a dog on a Christmas commercial and I'm tearing, I'm like bawling. I recently watched the Peanuts Thanksgiving special for the
Girl, it sounds like you
900th
said penis.
time. Peanuts,
Peanuts.
peanuts, peanuts. And oh my God, I was crying because it's
Oh,
nostalgic
I
and
meant to watch that.
and Snoopy is always my hero. It's like Madonna and
Oh,
Snoopy. I just can't with them. Yeah. I love them. Love, love, love. I love love. Okay. Let's move on to Black Friday. This was a crazy one. Do we have time for this one?
yeah, let's
Or
do it.
do we want to do the content creator? Let's do the content
Oh,
creator
yeah, let's do
one.
him. Yeah,
Okay. Well,
if we can
everybody,
pronounce his name.
yeah. First off, who watched in our chat here? Who watched what's Wicked
Yes.
and loved part one? Who watched part two and still loved it? I'm part one, yes. I'm part two, no. So is Diego.
Wow.
Just putting it
Wow,
out
you
there. But
guys.
adult
Wow.
content creator, white Texan, Texican. I think
I
he's a
think that's
white
as good as we're gonna
Mexican
get.
that lives in. He's a content creator and he's a light skinned Mexican that lives in Texas. Went viral by showing off his hole and a green bubble butt while singing a song from Wicked. Can you post that in our chat so people know what we're
Oh,
talking
the
about?
link?
The link so people can actually see. But I will post it on tagspodcast.com and as well as in our Patreon community. The boy has like a beautiful ass, and
It's huge. It's
he does
delicious.
a probably a better job of singing it, not alphabet, not, nowhere near like, but his ass
Easy
is
Ariel.
amazing. He painted his body green. He has the witch hat on, and his ass is like major. And I think the best part about the whole thing is that when he's singing trying some of those high notes, his ass is like going in and out, like opening up, and it's going to the tune, and he's very proud
Oh,
of it. And it's, I mean, I don't know, I give him kudos for it. It's not my I didn't love the second part too, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate mail on that, but that's where I stand. Where do you stand?
well, I think this is a nice bridge between part one and part two. This white Texican and his singing asshole. I think it's fantastic. I checked out a bunch of his other stuff too. He does a
How is the
lot of
rest of it?
it's cute. It's cute. I mean, he does a lot of, what a run of the mill things about what everybody does. Having
Run of the
sex, sucking
mill, I
dick.
love
I
that.
mean, I'm just saying, it's what all of the porn content creators do. That you go to watch them have sex, and he does that
Yeah.
as well. But he also does some shocking things. Like he was in a party just completely butt naked and just walking around, and I was like, this is really interesting, and I'm going to probably go back and see what else he has to offer, because I think he's very creative. And I think that, I mean, I don't know why I laugh like that, but I guess thinking about the things that he
That is
does.
actually really creative, and his ass
Yeah,
is amazing, and he is really sexy and beautiful, and it's on point with what's going on right now in terms of pop culture. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up.
thumbs up. I'm here for it. He has a decent voice too, so I'm here for it.
Decent voice, so thumbs up for
And it
both of
takes a
us.
lot to
We
paint yourself green,
Yeah,
especially
right.
your
All that
butthole.
time it took to do that. We're giving it a thumbs up. Let's go to our second. Where are you? Thumbs up or thumbs down? It is the show that everybody seems to be talking about, at least in our community. It's called Heated Rivalry. And I watched, it is on HBO Max, I
Hmm.
believe.
Crave if you're
Diego
in
and I
Canada.
watched. Jeremy, our co-host, told me there's a very sexy show out right now that we need to watch, Heated Rivalry, and I watched it. Diego watched it. It's about two hockey players that are on rival teams, and whenever they meet up, there's this sexual energy, and it's pretty hot. I have to say, their chemistry is really hot. Jacob Tierney on the 2024 Canadian Screen Awards Gala in Toronto. So we're talking about Jacob Connor as Ilya, who plays the kind of the Russian, and Hudson Williams as Shane Hollander on Heated Rivalry. Well, recently they were asked about their sexuality, and showrunner, I just mentioned his name, shut it down. He did not want them to answer that question. And I don't know. I thought that was a little bit harsh on the showrunner to kind of shut it down and not even let them answer about their sexuality. I will say that their chemistry, if you haven't watched it already, I feel is really strong, and they have great sexual chemistry. I will give it a thumbs down so far because I feel like so far, and Diego feels the same
Really?
way, so far not
Hmm.
them. It's just like, is it just going to go back and forth on them having sex in a hotel room? And I, it happens to come on the heels of another show I was watching, All Her Fault, which was so
Hmm.
layered on Peacock. And I just feel like I came to this show and there's not a lot going on other than their chemistry. Their chemistry is great. I might give it a chance and try it a little bit more, but currently I'm a thumbs down. Where do you weigh
Okay.
in on this? And where do you weigh on the showrunner saying that he wouldn't let them answer press questions about their sexuality? He shut it down.
Well, nobody owes us anything as far as that's concerned. I think that they both
But why
have
not let them
a
answer? And
yeah,
is it
I agree
and
with that.
he felt press doesn't shouldn't go there. It was kind of his whole
Well,
thing.
he made a
And it's
great
like,
point that he can't ask those questions when he's hiring them. This is like it's work
okay, but
basically.
he can't, but press were they were at a press conference.
But
I
there's
get where
still
he was,
press is
but
still
why did
work
he shut it down?
because he's the showrunner and he can do that. But
I think
I
he
I
doesn't wanna appear
definitely
like Ryan Murphy, and he's probably gay, he's the showrunner, and he shut it down to protect those actors, but in reality, I think, these actors should already be ready for those questions. It's 2025, there's so many people talking about
I see both
LGBTQ,
sides.
and it's a relevant question, it's in our Zeitgeist to ask, "Hey, how did you approach this?" And I'm sorry, I don't think he should have shut it down. I think he should have let those actors, it's what they signed up for. I'm sure they were fine answering the question one way, or
Maybe
they could
maybe
have
not.
been like
I guess we'll never know.
cheeky, yeah, but I didn't like the way
Yeah.
he did that. That did not sit well with me at all, that he chose on to shut it down. No, don't do that. And also makes me not want to watch the show anymore, because it's like, oh, you're trying to control all this. And by the way, your show's not that interesting anyway. I mean, it's just,
Well, I like
yeah,
the show. My dick was hard for 85% to 90% of the show. I think that that is a good show right there. It's very
fair
sexy.
enough.
I think that like some of it is more underlying. I only watched the first episode, so I think that some of that stuff is going to come to fruit. It's like a slow burn, I guess, and this is kind of like the setup. At least I hope it is. So I'm
They
going to
better
continue to
speed it up
watch.
a little bit. We don't have that much time. I mean, how slow are we going? It's not
You
a
know
soap
what?
opera, girl.
It is a soap opera, though. It is a soap opera. It's
Oh, do
very
we have
soapy.
like hundreds of episodes to go, like a soap opera
I don't think so.
does? Yeah,
I don't
thank you
think
so
so. But
much.
I think that this
Duran says, I think the show is amazing. I knew
he
you
did. I saw
would,
that, and I was like,
Duran.
yeah.
I'm on the fence. We'll see.
So yeah, I'm gonna continue to watch. I think it's very hot. I'm gonna go watch episode 2 right after we get off of this call after the show because
Will you give it
I'm
another
addicted
chance?
already. I'm like, oh
Diego's
my
all right,
god.
Diego, because I was kind of basing on Diego. He's going to give it another chance so we can watch it now.
Yeah,
And
I feel like a
my
lot of
man
this
says we
is
can watch it. So
it's girl. Go get the Handmaid's Tale hood right now, okay? No. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. So let me know what you think of episode 2 because I'm gonna watch it at the same
okay.
time. All right.
Well, we love giving advice on the show, and today is no different than any others. And by the way, you can always write into us and ask us. We will give our handles at the end of the show. Today, do you want to read the first one, Kodi, that we wanted to talk about?
It is. When do you expect to introduce or meet a family of the person that you're dating? Would you be bothered if it was taking too long when you're dating? When do you expect to meet their family? Do you get uncomfortable if you haven't been introduced by a certain point? Do you expect to be invited to family events that the guy is going to? Can I just leave it there?
Yeah, that's a good question,
Yeah.
because I know I fast tracked a lot of my relationship, but when I was ready to go, when it felt right to me, I told my sister, and she's my everything, my best friend, and been, in my life forever. And quickly, yeah, I told my mom. I just think when it feels right for you, but yeah, I think some people can fast track it too soon. We ultimately got married quick, and of course, we were going to tell everybody. So I don't
Yeah.
know that I'm really a good advice giver on this one. What's your advice on this one? When to introduce?
I think when it feels right, I'm definitely a feelings type of person. When it comes to this, when it comes to relationships, a lot of things you can't rush them. If it doesn't feel right, I don't think you should do it. But also, if you if it happens and it's something that both of you are ready for, then I say go ahead and do it. So I think
Yeah.
it's again you have to feel it out. Everybody is different. Every relationship is going to be different. You might meet their
Yes.
family in the first week, or you might not meet them for years because you never know what the dynamic is between this person and their family. And how you will fit into that equation. So I think just play it by ear at the end of the day.
And let me add this into it
And
because
don't
it
get butthurt
reminded.
if you don't go.
Yeah. And let me add this to it too, because add some grace to yourself too. If you feel like, because I've talked about it on this show with our co host, Jeremy, that in the past I introduced somebody to the mix and we even went traveling with them and it
Oh,
was the
oh wow.
mistake and it was not the right person. And I had to learn the hard way that this was the wrong person that I brought
Yeah.
over to Europe,
At least you knew
and
though.
well,
Did you leave them there?
I didn't know until I was there. So, I think
Ah,
my other advice is go with your gut, but if there's is there soup burning? Yeah. Give yourself some grace too, that if you make a mistake, that it's okay.
it
Sorry,
totally
smelling
is.
something over there, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I get that. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I think we have time for one more. Oh, you know what? We're gonna
We
get to
have.
thirst trap. We're gonna put it in. Can you put it in
Oh
the
yeah.
mix for everyone? But right now, I'm super excited right now because every platform, wherever you listen to your music, whether it's YouTube Music, Spotify, or Apple Music, that everybody is doing a roundup on who you listen to and gives you a whole stats. And I thought it would be fun for Kodi and I to share our stats on what we were listening to in the past year. So, do you want to go first and
Yeah,
say
I
who
no,
you
you
were
go
this?
first. I uploaded that picture that you sent to me of your
Uh
top
huh.
artists. I uploaded it, so I'm ready to show it
Oh,
when
you
if you're
did.
ready to
Okay.
go.
So, who are
Okay.
my top artists that I was listening to? Because I don't have it
Your
in front of me because
top
I'm trying to.
artists
Oh,
were
of course,
Madonna,
Madonna. So,
SG
not surprising
Lewis,
there. SG
Lisa
Lewis,
Stansbury.
not Jazzy, who I adore, Barry Can't Swim, Sammy Vergie, Dusky, D Stone, really great DJ, producer, producing some great music. Number 9, Janet Jackson. Sophia Cortizes. She is a singer. I went and saw her. I love her. She is blending Latin rhythms. I just adore her. Rochelle Jordan has one of the best albums I've downloaded in a long time. Check her out. MPH. Layla Hathaway, going back in time. Come on to my
Girl, I love
R&B
Layla.
days. Uh, Jada G. I can't read this right now, but
Jada
Jada
G.
G.
Yeah.
Yes, I love
And Mac
her.
Ayers.
And Mac. Yes, those are my top artists that Apple showed me, and I love it. Who are some of yours?
Mine are, of course, number one is Beyonce.
Okay.
Mine is
See,
much more commercial
you know
than
what?
yours.
That's
It's
good.
kind of
Well, that's
crazy.
okay, but like,
Yeah.
okay, Beyonce, Mariah,
Then Mariah, then Brandy.
Brandy.
I love Brandy. She's always on my raps. Every single year, she's like
Wow.
top five. I didn't get to see the concert, so if anybody has tickets to the Brandy and Monica concert, send them my way. Then Jasmine Sullivan, who I absolutely adore. Her voice is outstanding. Janet Jackson is
Okay,
there.
you ranked higher with Janet than I did. That's
Yeah,
pretty big.
yeah.
Summer
Summer
Walker, I
Walker.
love her.
Yeah. Tony
Tony,
Braxton. I'm surprised Tamar's not up there.
I'm surprised Tony's on there. Janelle Monáe, love.
I love her. Kaylani, who
Oh,
is
yeah,
really big
good
with
one.
Folded too. Love
Oh,
her. Amber Mark.
Amber,
I love Amber Mark. Then Tamia,
Tamina.
Kendrick Lamar, Sade,
Okay,
Ariana
come on now,
Grande.
Sade.
I
Oh,
know, right? And then
and
Robin,
Robin.
rounding them
I
out.
you
I
know,
love
Robin's
Robin.
new single, y'all, is so
So
good.
good. Mm, mm,
And
mm,
I'm so
mm. Yeah.
excited for her new album coming out. So we just thought that would be fun. Do that wherever you're listening to your music, and it's really it just wraps up the whole year and puts it into an algorithm of what you've been listening to. All right, let's move on to Thirst Trap. Who took the best photo of the week, according to Straight Up Gay Porn? And we're asking the question, out of these 16 gay porn stars, who took the best photo? It's our job on an audio podcast in a minute to describe. Well, mine happened to be one that I was really struck by. Oh my gosh. Who is yours, Kodi? Just go.
Mine is Angel Elias. It's a picture of him. He's in a shower with the water running down on him. It's kind of pixelated, so it looks like a vintagey type of picture. He's completely naked in the shower. He's got all these tattoos. This uncut cock is so fat and delicious, and he's super cute. So I think I'm going to vote for him right now.
God,
Did you
mine was
see who yours were?
Braxton Cruz. Braxton
Yes,
Cruz,
love
because
Braxton.
he is deliciously chocolate, spreading his legs, and a beautiful cock ready to go. His lips are pursed, and he is ready to just sit on that cock. And I love his cheekbones. I love his cock. I love his tattoo on his left side. I love his thighs. And he is my pick of the week. I already voted for him. Vote for yours and let us know. And in the meantime, you can follow Kodi at Mr. Maurice on Blue Sky and Instagram. Follow me on the gram. I am _ Steve V. Kodi, so much fun.
So much fun,
And
boo.
in the meantime, continue having hot
Not
gay
gay
sex.
sex.
Thanks.